Okay, very good. Like always, we will start exactly at 8 o'clock. So, inshallah, we try to be as punctual as possible with our sessions, and we'll try to keep it within an hour. So, I will try to make it, inshallah, as short as possible. And it's not 8 exactly. As soon as it becomes 8, inshallah, we'll start. Okay, it is 8. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihil kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'd. So we have discussed what is being taught in the school in the previous session and how it is being taught, and how what is being taught is very irrelevant, and the method that is being used to teach is not very helpful. So we'll continue a little about what method is being used. Okay, so we were discussing on lecturing, right? Just where the child just sits for hours and hours together, and from morning till afternoon they are sitting in the class. Children are sitting in the class. They are not allowed to move. They are not allowed to talk. They are not allowed to even go to the washroom without permission. And it's like one class after the other class after the other class after the other class. And like I just gave an example, if I did the same thing with you all, being in the comfort of your home, just being online, if we were to sit for 6 hours, it would be very difficult for us. But it is still, we think it is okay for children to be sitting in class for 6 to 8 hours and not moving, not talking, not doing anything. And we think it is fine. We think it is fine to let children go through that, and day after day after day after day. And that's why I said children start to hate going to school. Okay, we know that very well. Very few children will like to go to school, and even if they like to go to school, it is like someone mentioned, not to study, not to sit in the class. It would be to go and meet friends, to maybe look forward to playing in the ground and things like that. That is what they look forward to. You will not find children who would be very keen on sitting in the class and listening to what the teacher has to say, and very keen on studying. You do not get that very easily. Okay, in fact, you won't find. I mean, I personally do not know any child who likes to sit in the class 24/7. And when we see that, just look at it this way. Like I said, when a child before going to school is so curious, they want to learn, and that uh, they really love to learn. They want to learn more and more and more and more. But as soon as they start going to school, they start hating it. And I have personally seen many students, many children who say, my child was to love to read or love to look at books before going to school, but we don't know what happened. As soon as the child started going to school, they started hating it. Okay, so yes, this method of teaching is not the uh, most efficient, we can say. At least that's not the most efficient. In fact, it works in the opposite way. It doesn't help a child to study. It makes him hate studying more and more. Okay, so are you all with me? We were discussing this, right? All right, that is what the last thing we were discussing. Okay, are you all with me on this? Okay. Okay, now very important question, a very important question I want to ask you all. A very common thing, very important question is about socializing. Okay, our children go to school, and this is related to the method, so that's why I'm including it here. The method in which children are taught. So our children go to school. Okay, and because they go to school, they learn to socialize with other children. Okay, If our children do not leave the house, they will not know how to socialize. Is that a valid concern or not? Do you all agree with this? Is that a valid concern? Okay. Okay, now my poll should be working. So I'll just put a poll and all of you just answer this. Okay. Does school help in socializing? If children didn't go to school, they would find it difficult to socialize. So you say yes or you say no. Yes, schools are the best place for children to socialize. No, I don't think school helps in socializing. So I'm just conducting a small poll to see what you all think. Okay. So just say yes or no. Just say yes or no. Okay. Wow, mashallah. Okay. So we have, I'll give 1 minute for the poll. So 9 out of 19 people have polled. So please give your answers. Let us see what you think. Okay. No, I don't think schools helps in socializing. Okay. So 10 people have voted already. 11 out of 20. Yes. 12 out of 20. Mashallah. Okay. 10 more seconds and then I will end the polling and I will publish the result. So we don't have too much time just to show. Okay, so that's it. We have 13 people who have voted, and I just want to share the results. So a lot of people think that schools are the best place for children to socialize, where 10 people said yes, you can. School is good, and 5 people said no, it is not helping in socializing. Now let me ask you a question. Let me ask you all a question. When we talk about socializing, what do we mean? When we talk about socializing, what do we mean? Socializing basically means is when a child learns to interact with other people, okay, of all different ages, of all different groups, where the child knows how to communicate with people well, okay, and he is more or less comfortable with people around him, people being around him, okay. Do you all agree that definition of socialization is it fine? Okay, how to interact with people and how to like communicate with people well, that is, I believe, would be a good definition of socializing. Now let us see how children are in the school. Okay, how children are in the school. Now in the schools, children are categorized it children are categorized based on age. So a 3-year-old will be in LKG, a 4-year-old will be in UKG, and so on. So 5 will be in first standard, second standard. So all of them are categorized in age. Okay. Now, when a child goes to school, all he sees is the people his age. He is interacting mostly like 90% or even more than that. He is interacting with people of his own age, children of his own age. Is a real life scenario like that? Does that happen in real life, that when you go to the real world, you will find all the people your age? Whenever you go, let's say you go to a party, right, socializing party, is it a case then when you go to a party you find all the people same age, all age groups are present? Now, okay, now think of it this way. All of us have been to schools, right? All of us have been to schools, right? Now tell me, what happens, what is the attitude of an 8th standard student towards a 6th standard student? What is generally seen? What do the 8th standard students feel about themselves, and what do the 6th standard students feel about themselves? I am a senior. Exactly. I am a senior. I have the right to bully, to boss around, like you say. And that child who is younger gets that complex, that fear of seniors. Does this happen on a regular basis or not? Is it a common thing or not that a child who is at 7th standard, 6th standard, he will be finding it very like intimidating when he sees an 8th standard or 9th standard student, right? Okay. Plus, you know about, all of us know about colleges, and when students go to college, when students go to college, uh, ragging and all this happens, right? Or ragging happens and like crazy things. Now, is this a healthy socialization is what my question is. Is this kind of socialization healthy? Okay. When a child socializes this way, I am telling you again, when these children, when they go out in real world, they do not know how to behave with people who are not their age. They do not know people who are much older than them, how to behave with them. People who are much younger than them, how to behave with them. It is not natural. It's a very, it becomes very of child, like I remember like being in college, we are with people our same age. Then whenever something happens, like we have an event, you go to a hotel where you find people who are like much older than you, and you get scared, like you automatically get that fear because of that being instilled in you over the 10 to 15 years of education. It is already instilled in you that these people are older than you, so there is no way that you're going to communicate. Plus, a very important aspect of socialization is that you learn more and more. Like you learn through interaction. The best way of of learning is through interaction with others. When you are with people your same age, what is it that you can learn much more from these people? It's the same age, right? But when you see a person who is much older than you and you are interacting with that person, the kind of education that you get, the kind of upbringing that you get is way beyond the regular thing. Do you understand? This is not a natural socialization. This is not a way and method of uh, general real life. Again, this is not real life scenario. We are not talking about real life scenario. Okay. Now tell me, how many of you think school is very good place to socialize? Can I conduct the poll again? Should I relaunch the poll? Let us see how many of you have changed your mind. Okay. So I'll stop sharing result and I am relaunching the poll. Yes. Let us see. Have you all, do you think schools help in socialization? Okay. Okay. There are still people we need to convince. Okay. Not much. Okay. Okay, see now, please, from when I'm talking about, I have not come to the topic of homeschooling yet. Okay, we are not talking about homeschooling yet. I'm just talking about the problems with the schools. We will discuss the solution in in another topic. So we are not comparing schools to homeschools. Okay, we are not talking about homeschooling. We are just talking about school as it is by itself. Is school a very good place for your children to socialize? Okay, that is the main question. Okay, so I'll just stop the polls. We have already 13 votes, and let's see what people say and how the results have actually changed. So from 10 to 5 in favor of schools, now it has gone the other way. It is 10 to 3. Okay. Okay, mingling they learn at the school only. Okay, let's see. uh so I'll just stop to share the results. The problem, again, when I said uh the problem with the schools is it is not a natural way of doing anything. Even socializing is not natural in schools. Okay, that was my main point, that even socializing is not natural in schools. Okay, it Okay, I am not saying that people don't learn to socialize. People learn to socialize in school, but that is not the best method of socializing first, and it is not a very natural way of socializing. Okay, let's come back to uh the same thing. Okay, the issues that we are discussing. um all this thing is there, all these issues are there. My question is, I'll just tell you one thing. Okay, I have been doing research about teaching children to read over the last few years. Okay, very few years, like 4 to 5 years. I taught my daughter Mariam to read and then Khadija to read. Okay, uh, and now we have started this program where we teach small children to read. Okay, the results have been amazing. The results have been amazing. We have had children 3 years, some months, 3 years, 1 month, 3 years, 2 months. They have learned to read within 3 months' time, within 2 months' time. Okay. Now I am a very like novice person who's very new to education. I don't have a lot of background. I have 5 years of experience, but I still came up with a program which is much more effective than regular schooling. Now I'm not trying to boast here. I'm just trying to make a point here. Okay. Now, a person like me with a little research, okay, and a little hard work could come up with a program where we are so effective in teaching children to read. Okay. Why is it that schools who have more than 100 years of experience, schools who have unlimited resources in terms of money, unlimited resources in terms of teachers and things like that, so much of experience teaching children to teach about teaching children, why is it that schools have not come up with a solution over the last 100 years? Is that a question that is in your mind or not? Do you all have this question that why is it, why, like, how come I am talking about this, and why can't schools think like this, right? We all, I mean, I will not find, you will not find a person who will disagree that uh, school system has its problems, and some major problems are there. Nobody denies it. Even if their children are doing well at school, they will still deny that, they will not deny that the schools are have these issues. Everyone agrees to this. Now my question is, why is it that the schools are still running the same way? Why is it that schools have this problem? When you have so much of resources, could they have not come up with a better method? Could they have not come up with a better way of teaching children or educating children? So many people can fail miserably at one thing. Can that happen? Does that happen anywhere else? Like when you see technology, right? When technology has developed, so many people are working together, technology has gone from one level to the other. Everything is there, right? Because the intent is there to develop technology. Are you all understanding my question? Do you all understand what my concern is? Okay. Do you all understand what my concern is? Do you all have an explanation of why this is? Okay, they care about fees. Okay, if they give without considering individual needs. Okay, so you're saying it is very difficult to care for so many people. Maybe resources are lacking. Okay, that can be one of the explanations. But I will give you some explanation, inshallah. Okay, I'll give you some explanation. If people wanted to solve the problem, something or the other would have come out. Okay, if there was an intent to solve the problem, it would have come out. Now, I would suggest certain books for you all to read. There is a book by a person called John Taylor Gatto, and the book is called Dumbing Us Down. Dumbing, Dumbing, Dumbing Us Down. In Dumbing Us Down, John Taylor Gatto, he is a 1990, in 1990, he got the New York State Teacher Award, Best Teacher in New York, and all those things. Now, in this book, he has done a very good analysis of why the things are the way they are. He says that schools have not failed. Schools are doing exactly what they are supposed to do, which is to dumb people down, to make everyone dumb. Okay. Now I will tell you why is this the case. Let me give you an example. There are 32 people here in this room right now. Okay. There are 32 people in this meeting. Now imagine each and every person has his own mind. Okay. They make decisions for themselves. Okay. Each and every person can do many things themselves. They are well talented. They know, they know to do everything by themselves. Okay. They don't require help from a lot of people outside them. Okay. Now, if you have that kind of crowd, if you have a crowd where each and every person's thinking is different, everyone thinks differently. Okay. What happens when a marketer comes? He's trying to market his product. He has to convince 32 individuals. He has to convince each and every person using a different technique. He has to convince everyone that this product is perfect for them. And even after that, he will not be able to make as good a sale. Now imagine on the other hand, if you made the thinking of each and every person the same, if I made the thinking of each and every person the same, by brainwashing them day in and day out, by dumbing them down, by not thinking, don't think, do what the class is telling you to do what the teacher is telling you to do. Uniform, wear the same uniform, everyone has to be the same. If you are an outlier, when you go to school, if you are a little different, you will be shamed. You are a little different than the crowd. Does this happen that if one child maybe talks a little differently, won't other children make fun of that child? Does that happen in schools? Does that happen? Yes. At that age itself, the child does not want to go out and be different than anyone else. He wants to be the part of the crowd. That is being taught. So what happens is, once this mentality has developed over 15-16 years of education, it is very difficult for a child to start thinking out of the box. It is very difficult for the child. Exactly. They have to fit in. It becomes impossible for a child to think for themselves. Now the marketer comes and tells you iPhone 12 is better than iPhone 11. Buy it for 1 lakh rupees. The crowd goes crazy. Let us buy. FOMO. Who has heard of FOMO? This new term. FOMO. What is FOMO? FOMO is nothing but you are missing out on everyone, what everyone else is doing. Everyone else is doing one thing. You also have to do it. Everyone is buying an iPhone. You have to buy an iPhone. Everyone is buying a new phone, you have to buy a new phone. Everyone is buying a new type of clothing, you have to buy a new type of clothing. Fit in, yes, fit in or get out, something like that, right? You have to fit in, otherwise what will happen? Now when you make your whole masses with the same mentality that you have to fit in, all you have to do is you have to market it the same way. You don't need individual marketing. Do you all understand this? Do you all agree with this? Do you all agree with this? This is a core reason for the education system to be the way it is. It is a very, very important reason. That's why it is like that. So if you all have studied about colonialization, what used to happen is when Britishers came and captured India, made them the slaves. How did they make them the slaves? One is, why did they make them the slaves? Is one is they wanted a market for their products. One is they wanted the market for their products. Okay. Second is they wanted cheap labor. They wanted cheap labor. Education does this for the corporate. They get market for the product. Second is the child stops thinking for himself. After completing a degree, after you get a degree, what is it that a child will do? What does a student who has completed his BE engineering degree, what does he do first thing? Job hunting. He is looking for jobs. At that, after completing his degree, if the student, okay, he's no more a child, he's an adult. If the student goes and says that, okay, I want to do something myself, I want to maybe invent something, I want to do something for the people, I want to join an NGO for free, not for money. Is that possible for a student to do that? Is it possible for a student who has just come out fresh, not to work, but to do something khair, to do dawah? He wants to become a da'i. Is that a possibility? Why? Because you have put 22 years, like 22 years of your life, you have been waiting to get a job. And that has been ingrained in the mind that you are studying for the job. You are studying for the job. You are studying for the job. After you complete your degree, you will think of nothing but get a job. And you get the cheap labor. Remember, you get, what do you get? You get a ready-made market. And then you get what? You get cheap labor. Cheap labor, ready-made market, slavery. This is colonialization. This is what it is. This is how education system, and this is why the education system is the way it is. Each and every aspect. Now somebody was asking me, we need degree to get a job. Everyone has this concern, right? What will happen if we don't get degree? If we don't have degree, people will not give us job. Do you have this concern? Why is it people were asking, right? People were asking that, see, you have uh, see, we need to get a job, so we need a degree. And the one who has more marks, the one who has higher marks will get a better job, and the one who has lesser marks will get low job. We have already established that, see, the what is being taught in the schools or in the colleges, whether BCom, whether BA, whether engineering, whether medical, whatever it is, it has got nothing to do with real life. And I will tell you this for a fact. I have studied engineering, and someone who is studying engineering can tell you. Okay, the knowledge that you get from engineering colleges, you can get double the knowledge spending half the time on YouTube. I will give you this in writing. You will spend half the time on YouTube and you will get double the knowledge of what you get in engineering colleges. So Why is it that the marks are given so much of precedence, and why do the companies value it so much? Why do the companies value it so much? I'll tell you the reason. Again, there is another book. It's called Case Against Education. It's by Brian Thomas, I think so. I don't remember the name. I'm very bad at remembering the names. In that, he has explained a very good reason for this, which is there is something called as signaling, which he calls it as signaling. What is signaling? I'll tell you. Education system does not make sense. Education system, what is being taught does not make sense to 99% of children. It does not make sense. We already know this. We have discussed this in the first session. What is being taught in maths and science and all, it does not make sense to the children. Okay, it might be making sense to the teacher, but it does not make any sense to the children. Okay, it does not make sense. What this child who has scored 95% or 99% has proved that he is ready to do something which does not make sense. He is ready to put in effort wherever he is told to. He is, like they say, falling in line with what is being told to him to do. He is not thinking for himself. The child who is thinking for himself does not find value in education. He is not paying attention to his school. He is not running after the marks. Whatever it might be, he is not bothered. He is not bothered. But the one who has scored 99% is a perfect product of this system, who will do whatever the company says. Whether it makes sense to him, it does not make sense to him. He will not question. He will not ask why is it that we are doing what we are doing. And companies want that. We will give you a task, you do not question, and you will of course work hard at it even if you don't know what it is. Does this make sense to you all? Do you all understand this? What I'm saying, is it in any way making sense? I will come to it. I will come to it. I'll come to medicine also. I'll come to medicine also, inshallah. Okay, I will come to medicine, inshallah. It is exactly what it is. You will not, I mean, if you look at the whole thing, so you have cheap labor, you have a ready-made market, corporates are happy. There is no intent from the side of the government or from the side of the corporates or the schools or whatever it is to make any changes whatsoever. In my previous session, when we had about future of your child, economic future of your child, I spoke about why 9 to 5 jobs are what do you say, are a trap. Why jobs by itself are traps. Okay, we know that. Okay, so this is the reason why the schools have these problems that they have. I can sit and talk about the problems all day, all night, because I know this problem in and out. I have worked in schools. I'm a teacher myself. Okay, I know this. When I look at children, children, amazing. Like if you see the children, like when you talk to them in their personal way, you will find that they are brilliant children. But just because of this system, they are crushed in the system. They are crushed in the system. It is, we need to really ask ourselves these questions. I am not giving you a solution today. I am not talking about what is to be done. I'm not talking about homeschooling yet. Okay, we are not talking about it, but we first have to realize that this is a problem. And unfortunately, we do not realize this. Most of us are like, it's one thing, like, again, Mark Twain says that it is very easy to fool people than to convince people that they are being fooled. It is very easy to fool people. Like if somebody wants to fool you, you can easily fool. You can easily get fooled. But to come and tell you, see, someone is fooling you, it is very difficult to convince. It is very difficult to convince. And I agree with this 100%. I have done this a long time. If you kept all these things aside, if you kept all these issues aside, the biggest problem which I have with the education system, for Muslim children to go to schools where you have, like somebody said, Islamic schools. Let's take Islamic schools as an exception, but we have majority of Muslims are still going to schools. I know the problems with Islamic schools also. I will not talk about it right now, or I will not say this. With Islamic schools, Islamic schools still have those issues which we have already discussed. Okay, we have already discussed this. All these issues, the issues about everything, have already been discussed. But one big problem with the schools with regards to Muslim children is, look at the curriculum that is being taught. Look at what our children are doing from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the evening. What is it that, yes, it is already there. What is it from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the evening? What is it that students are studying? Are they studying about Allah and His Messenger? They are, the whole curriculum that is set in a very secular way. You pick up any book, whether it is English, whether it is science, whether it is any other subject. You pick up the subject and you see it will have something or the other which will take your child as far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as possible. You see the science books that they talk, the language that is used. I'm not even talking about evolution. I'm not talking about evolution as a topic which is straightforward against Islam. We are talking about other things. We are talking about things like where you have simple like fossil fuels, for example. Fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are 300,000 years ago, something happened and this happened. The child is made to believe that whatever scientists say is 100% true. Where, on the other hand, if you did a little research of how these scientists have fooled so many people and all these things, I mean, there are, subhanallah, there are things which have been proven as false, false proofs of evolution. They are still being taught in our schools. So many proofs which are being proven false. Okay, nobody in serious scientific community talks about these proofs anymore, but they are still taught to our children as proofs of evolution, as proof that evolution is true. Okay, and that is the biggest thing. Now think about this. When your child has a teacher who has a particular mentality, if your child has a teacher who is an atheist, don't you think he is going to influence your child? When the child is going to listen to the teacher, children will believe in whatever the teacher says. And you have these things. Plus, there are 20 children who are from different backgrounds. Exactly, 20 children who are from different backgrounds. Each child brings his own baggage of beliefs and his own belief system he's getting to school. If your child gets in contact with these children, won't he get influenced on those aspects as well? All the issues that I have said, if you keep that aside, I am not even talking. Look at this from the perspective of your child's deen and Islam. One of my students told me this. One of one of my children, one of my students told me this. Is in a school here in Mangalore. It's a very famous convent school. Okay, a very famous convent school. There were almost 6 or 7 Muslim boys in his class. 6 or 7 Muslim named boys. Their names are Muslim. They were in the class. He said that along with him, all of them had become atheist. All the boys have become atheist. When they go back home, they show to their parents, we are still praying, we are still doing this, we are still doing that. But in the school, this is, I mean, Allah is my witness, I will not lie about this. This is how it is. And it might be the case with children we see normally in the masajid. We might be seeing them, but they don't believe. They don't have that belief anymore. Why? Because again, remember, falling in line I was talking about. Each and every child will they say, my student had said, sir, they make fun of you if you say that you believe in Allah. They will make fun of you, because the whole system has become like that. The whole education, the whole everyone has become like that. Tell me, how is a child supposed to protect himself? This problem might be much lesser in Islamic schools, but it still is there. It still is there. Exactly. Even in Islamic schools, you have non-Muslim teachers. You don't know when you have to protect. Okay, I'll ask you one thing. If in a school, you know that out of 50 students, 30 to 35 students have COVID. Okay, 30 to 35 students have COVID. Will you send your child to that school? If 30 to 35 children have COVID, will you send your child to that school? 90% children who are not believers, they have the disease of shirk. They have the disease of doubts in their heart. How are we so comfortable sending our children to such schools? If your child gets COVID, at maximum what can happen is he can die. If your child gets the doubt of atheism, doubt of religion in his heart, he starts doubting Allah and his messenger, how is it that you will be able to, like, how will you save your child from the fire? Shouldn't we think on those lines as well? How are we so comfortable about children going, and we say, okay, how many of us say, no, my child's immune system is very strong, he can still go and sit in the COVID class? Do we say that? So how do we say that my child's Akida is so strong that he can go and sit in people full of doubt? How do we say that? Why do we not fear our children's Akida, our children's belief much more than what we should be fearing this? I am not talking about solution today. We need to realize this. Please, for the sake of Allah, sit and think. I am not saying what I'm saying is 100% right, but think for yourselves. Think on what are we doing with our children? We have to start thinking on those lines. Just think and question yourselves. Question yourself, is all this really worth it? Okay. When we went to school, why went, okay, you can send. You can send if you are ready to take the, do you all understand that the, first of all, the world has changed drastically over the last 15 to 20 years. Drastically. Today, the narrative is crazier, much crazier than what it was previous. Okay. So if your child has COVID, you can do that also, right? That is what I'm saying. If I'm just saying is, if there is a place full of COVID, you will not risk your child's going there. How is it that we are easy, we are so comfortable sending our children to a place full of doubts? You do not know that what a person says and what sits in the heart of a child. You can never tell. You can never tell. Okay. You can never tell. You will not be able to, the child might live with that doubt all their lives. Why expose your child to that kind of situation beforehand? What I'm talking about is, look at it this way. Is it really worth it when we have already discussed the crazy number of problems that school system has? We have already discussed that as a system, as a school system, it is a failure. It is not meant for children to learn. Do you, okay, it is not, it is not the system. School, like I said, I have given enough I have told you all guys enough proofs that the system is a failure. 12,000 hours, they can't read and write. Okay, so I'll just stop here. uh, we are not debating here. I am not here to debate. You think about it. If you find my points valid, of course you can take it. If not, up to you all. Up to you all. I'm just trying my best, inshallah, to convey the message. Up to you. Okay. All right. Other than that, people who have just joined, this is the last thing that I discussed about the Islamic perspective of schools, the Islamic issues that we have with the schools. We, before this, I have discussed all the issues which we have with schools, where children um, do not get enough do not get enough education, like we say, right? The children cannot learn to read, write. It is not meant for individual education. The individualism of children is lost in that, and all these things we have discussed. Okay, so I think that's about it. uh, we have discussed the problems. Inshallah, maybe next to next week, because next week we are busy. Maybe next to next week, inshallah, we will have the solution for this, inshallah. Okay, we will have a solution of what can be done. Okay, homeschooling is an option, but how is it an option and how to utilize it, or all the questions that people generally have about homeschooling, inshallah, we will do that. We will try to give solutions. If Allah gives me long enough life, I will try to give solutions for this from my perspective, inshallah. Okay, we have a solution. Allah has not created any disease without a cure, and he has not created any problems without a solution. We have everything in our Quran and Sunnah. We have all the issues, alhamdulillah, uh, uh, with this. Okay, we will talk about it, all these things, inshallah. All the issues that you have, all the issues that you have, inshallah, I will discuss this uh, in uh, in uh, in the session that we have, inshallah. Okay, someone was talking about medical schools. Let me just bring out that thing, and then I will end this, inshallah, session. Okay, medical schools. Medical schools by itself, okay, is one of the biggest scams. Is one of the biggest scams. If you did a little research, if you did a little research about medical schools in India, okay, about medical schools, if you did a little research in India, out of I don't know how many schools, only 1 or 2 schools have come up with research, like research, like they are doing research on finding treatment and things and this and that. Okay, plus the whole medical system of of uh, the way the doctors are. Okay, uh, it is being, like, it is run by a big pharmaceutical cartel. Okay, where all the types of alternative medications have been discarded. All the types of alternative. Now when you talk about any alternative medication, for the last thousands of years, Ayurveda and then Unani medicines and all these different medicines were considered as the main way of education, main naturopathy of medication. Okay, but with this new cartel, only allopathy is considered as medical. Everything else is considered as, let they say, how they say, uh, pseudoscience or something like that. They will work it out that way. And when we know that allopathy has crazy side effects, like any medicine that you take for allopathy, it has crazy side effects. So it is invariable that they want people to fall in the line. Like I said about dumbing down, even them dumbing down to that level where, okay, you will learn about medicines, you will learn about medication, but you will not learn how to really help people, or in any way you will not learn on finding solutions. It is not about finding solutions, it is only about making money. It is only about uh, I mean, subhanallah, all of us know how worse, how bad a profession doctor has become. Everyone knows this, everyone knows this. Don't, like, if ever, la qadar Allah, if ever anyone of you has to go to the hospital and see someone getting a heart attack or something, see how the doctors treat you in the sense that they all they care about is money. All they care, all that. And it's actually it's a business, right? When a father has put 50 lakh rupees and 1 crore rupees in his child to become a doctor, what is he going to do after that? What is the child going to do after spending 1 crore rupees in education? What is the outcome going to be? Doing khairat, doing charity? Is that what people are going to do? He is going, don't, I mean, tell me, do you find any doctor who really wants to do this? He wants to get his money back. He wants to get his money back. Again, that is the truth of the matter. If we are denying it, we are being blind to it. We deny this, we are blind. We do not realize this. So in the end, no matter how much we say that we want our children to become doctors and we want to do khair for people, it is not possible for people who are middle class to do that. Okay, you can always, I mean, I'm not giving solutions again. These are the issues, these are big issues, we need to think about it. So we have like, we know that for a fact that all these issues are there. We are just oblivious to it. We don't just see what is happening. We are just closing our eyes and we are not paying attention to what is happening around us. Like an ostrich putting his head under the ground, we are doing that. My only concern is, let us realize the problems. Then inshallah we can always talk about solution. Unless we realize that there is an issue, we will not talk about the solution. Okay, so may Allah make it easy for all of us. And that's mostly what I wanted to convert, patience in us towards our kids. Okay, we'll talk about it inshallah. I will surely do a session on the solution, and all the problems that will come with the solution. So solutions will not be without problems. The solution will have their own problem. We will talk about all the problems that will come with the solution, and inshallah I really want you all to attend that also. And we will for sure we will, yes, I will send the recording of this class, inshallah, of this class also, and the one that was done at 5 o'clock. So the whole session, both the sessions will be there on YouTube, inshallah. You can share it and see that if you can spread the word, in the sense that not spread that I am doing the class, spread the word, start talking to people about it. If that's my aim, that's my motive. May Allah make it pure, make my intention pure, and may Allah make us all realize these issues. Okay, my students who are here, they know how passionate about I am about education, about our children's future. I really look at it very I am very concerned, because when I look at children sitting in schools, amazing children who are like, uh, I just saw one brother who attended the class, who just came now. We have Okay, so I didn't want to confuse you all. I didn't want to confuse you all. I want you all to just sit and think over it. Okay, maybe do a little research for yourself. And I see like I see a lot of potential in each and every child. Each and every child has a lot of potential. Okay, I will try to make it as soon as possible. Let me see, inshallah. I don't want to keep everyone waiting. I will put it on the group. I'll put it on the group, inshallah. So I really want, like I was saying, I really want to uh, make each and every child with sincere heart. I want them to really do well, and may Allah make us uh, make our children as a way of sadaqah jariyah for us. Okay. um, if anyone has questions regarding the problems, we can always discuss it, inshallah. And with the solution, inshallah, we will come out. Uh, Maybe I'll give you an example. Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about all these things, inshallah. I know people really want to attend the solution class as soon as possible, but I'll try it. Maybe let me try to make it as soon as possible, inshallah. Okay. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakumullah khair for attending the class, and please do spread the word. Okay, that's all we ask from you all, inshallah. May Allah make it easy for all of us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.